Welcome to today's presentation on the different approaches to clinical trials. In this video, we will explore the various clinical trial designs, including their advantages and limitations. So let's begin our journey into the different ways to conduct clinical trials. What are clinical trials? Clinical trials are research studies that involve human participants to evaluate the safety and efficacy of medical interventions, including drugs, devices, and procedures. These studies are necessary to determine whether a new treatment is safe and effective for widespread use. Types of clinical trial approaches. There are four main types of clinical trial approaches: randomized controlled trials, RCTs, non-randomized controlled trials, observational studies, and crossover trials. Let's look at each of them in more detail. Randomized controlled trials. RCTs are the gold standard of clinical trials. They randomly assign participants to treatment groups, allowing for a comparison of the effects of the intervention and the control group. RCTs help minimize bias and ensure accurate and reliable results. Non-randomized controlled trials. Non-randomized controlled trials use a control group to compare the treatment group but do not randomly assign participants. These trials are useful when randomization is not feasible or ethical, but they may be prone to selection bias. Observational studies. Observational studies do not assign participants to treatment groups. Instead, they observe the natural course of a disease or condition and examine potential risk factors or interventions. Observational studies can provide valuable insights, but they are less reliable than RCTs due to potential confounding factors. Crossover trials. Crossover trials involve two or more treatments that are administered to the same participants in a different order. This design allows for within-participant comparisons and can be useful when studying rare diseases or costly interventions. However, crossover trials may be subject to carryover effects, where the effects of one treatment influence the results of the subsequent treatment. Choosing the right approach. The choice of clinical trial approach depends on several factors, including the research question, ethical considerations, and available resources. RCTs are the most rigorous approach but may not always be feasible or ethical. Observational studies may be useful in certain circumstances, but their results may be less reliable. Conclusion. The different clinical trial approaches each have their advantages and limitations. Researchers must carefully consider their research question and available resources to select the most appropriate approach. Regardless of the approach chosen, clinical trials play a vital role in evaluating the safety and efficacy of medical interventions and advancing medical knowledge. Thank you for watching. Remember to like, share, and subscribe for more informative content. If you have any questions or suggestions, please leave them in the comments section below. Stay informed, and stay curious.